Modern Warfare 3 confirmed to be Modern Warfare 2 DLC, Mark Cerny explains Dolby Atmos on PS5, and Sony patents tiered gameplay trials. All that and more in today's PlayStation news. Let's get to them. Insider Gaming and user PlayStation sites on Twitter have collaborated on a report that proves this year's Call of Duty game was essentially DLC as initially rumored. It appears that Modern Warfare 3 will be delivered as an add-on for Modern Warfare 2, with beta codes for Modern Warfare 3 using the same concept ID as its predecessor, and suggesting the Modern Warfare 2 app will be updated to a Call of Duty hub housing Modern Warfare 2, 3, and Warzone. That also piles up with previous reports that the game started as DLC and then became bigger in scope, plus Activision's announcement that this year's game will account for the player's progression and carry on weapons and skins already unlocked, with some exceptions. Despite the concept being from a DLC, Modern Warfare 3 is expected to be sold at the $70 premium, although a new rumor hinted it could be sold at around $40. That was based on the price for the game in the Steam Australian store being $54.96 Australian dollars, equivalent to around $36 US, but that could easily be a placeholder or a mistake. In related news, and as you would expect with Sony's Call of Duty marketing deal expiring with this year's game, Modern Warfare 3's beta period will have an exclusive window for PlayStation users. That's according to Charlie Intel on Twitter, who shared the image from the Sony Arabic YouTube channel, which states you can play the demo first on PlayStation. The full Modern Warfare 3 reveal will happen on August 17th, with the beta weekend 1 starting for PS4 and PS5 users on October 6 through 10, and the game launches on November 10. Digital Foundry reported last week on their test with PS5 Dolby Atmos from the latest system beta, and their findings indicated Sony's implementation was not a true Dolby Atmos mix, but instead they recalculate Tempest 3D audio data and inject it into a Dolby Atmos container. Despite that, they found the solution innovative, given that's the only way they can support the current library of games without developers having to create a new mix. And the solution also allowed for an entirely lag-free experience, unlike issues the Digital Foundry team had with Dolby Atmos support on Xbox and Windows PC. Lead PS5 architect Mark Cerny contacted Digital Foundry to further explain how the surround setup actually works on the console. In his letter, Cerny says that ambisonic audio was already rendered with the Sony Tempest 3D audio engine in all directions, including above the player, into all the 36 channels for headphones, TV speakers, 5.1 or 7.1 stereo systems. With the new update and 7.1.4 sound system support, nothing really changes, as Tempest already accounts for all 36 channels with audio coming from all directions, and the 4 overhead speakers are handled like any other, with the same latency as it would for stereo 5.1 and 7.1. Cerny also points out that game teams couldn't test with these speaker setups, but support should be pretty automatic and sound designers can improve it moving forward for the highest quality of audio on 7.1.4. The PlayStation Plus revamp last year brought limited time game trials for the higher tier users, and according to a new patent Sony has registered online, they may be expanding upon it. The patent describes a system for providing an interactive gaming application associated with a game to users based on their access privileges. The way it works is that the system will store user access tiers and interests, and then determine access to a game trial based on their purchase rights. The trial will eventually be interrupted depending on certain conditions, which can be time-based between 1 to 24 hours, or a subdivision of a game like when demos allow to play different levels. At the end of the trial, a purchase prompt appears and the user can be granted another length of gameplay or the full game based on their input. This could mean trial access for essential and extra users in the future, but with less amount of gameplay time compared to deluxe or premium users. The challenge there would be for developers whose games offer barely any chance for a user to get engaged with a game. For example, Hogwarts Legacy only gives 45 minutes, and splitting something like that into tiers may prove impossible. Of course, this could also end in nothing, as not every patent ends up becoming a reality. Just like Borderlands 4 is not becoming a reality, at least for now, after a voice actress's resume had everyone thinking the game leaked last week. The online resume for actress Angie Jolie had Borderlands 4 listed as part of her work voicing the character Ayumi. However, Gen Beat Entertainment explained that Jolie is part of the upcoming interactive streaming series Borderlands Echo Vision Live, announced at San Diego Comic-Con last month. The series takes place in the Borderlands universe and is being made in partnership with Gearbox, but it's not a new Borderlands main game. The rumors also coincided with the now taken down LinkedIn page for producer Nadia Danova, also listing Borderlands 4 as a game she worked on while in employment by localization company Mogi Group. Gearbox co-founder Randy Pitchford explained on Twitter they are the sole developers of the Borderlands franchise, and they are working on amazing things they hope will surprise and delight fans. The studio may indeed be working on another Borderlands game, but we'll have to wait for confirmation. And Larian Studio CEO and founder Cerny has responded to the online debate that Baldur's Gate 3 was a race standard that has caused anxiety to other developers, and that players shouldn't expect games like that moving forward. Speaking to PC Gamer, Vinky said that, obviously yeah, if you're a 50-man studio or a 10-man studio, you shouldn't try to make a game like Baldur's Gate 3, but also stated that he has a problem with the use of the word standard. This is video games, standards just die every day. Things get reinvented, new things appear all the time. When I was starting out in the industry, Assassin's Creed set a new standard. It was over, nobody could make games like Assassin's Creed, there was too much budget behind it. That was going to be the future, everybody had to consolidate, blah blah blah. That didn't materialize. In video games there's so much free space to explore still in the Creative 3. He gave another example of how this Coliseum changed standards on the fly and they are a small team, further explaining, there are so many games that can change the standards to the point that there's no standards was my thing. But I think you should always strive to evolve, especially in this medium which is different than other media, in the sense that technological evolution has always been a big part of it. There's always been innovation, but at the same time it doesn't require massive technological evolution to do something crazy and cool, and different than what anybody else has done before. Baldur's Gate 3 is part of a string of games from the studio praised by the media, and they were also able to develop it with fan feedback through a lengthy early access period. And those are the PlayStation stories for today. What are your thoughts on them? Let us know in the comments below, give this video a thumbs up or down to let me know your feedback, check out more content you may like as well, and subscribe for more on PlayStation. Thank you so much for watching, my name is Joseph, this is Hype for Games, and let's get hype!